Here we go, Summoners, match number 4, the final match for quarterfinals. TIMBO versus Sinip, pre-bans.
These two players are really evenly matched in terms of RTA points at the moment. Both have been climbing the ladder on G3. There's 3 red stars. TIMBO might get his Molly banned out potentially. Penis might get, or rather Sinip might get his Volantis banned out.
Here we go, we've got the Volantis and the Oliver as the pre-bans. I'm sure these two have faced each other in RTA, being such a close rank to each other.
Yep, unfortunately, Sinip has decided to ban out the Oliver, which is a little bit of a surprise. I don't think that's a unit that TIMBO likes to use, actually. So I'm not sure why he's chosen to ban out the Oliver. Maybe he's not been doing his homework at all.
Both players taking the time available to him to draft up their units. TIMBO, first pick, Masha locked in.
I do like the Masha because she has a lot of survivability, and that will pair quite well with the Molly, who also can help the Masha stay alive. So Sinip is going to have to think about bringing some water units, or maybe the Dominic is also a decent counter to the Masha in order to take that Masha quickly.
Sinip with the first pick, picking up that Vanessa, and the second picking up that Dominic. TIMBO, how would you respond?
Well, I think he might want to bring a resetter, potentially. The Carnal that he likes to pick up would also be a decent counter to the Dominic, because we know that Dominic does well against Molly, because Molly does... well, Molly gives your team glancing, but Dominic doesn't care about glancing.
I don't think Dominic cares about anything at the moment. TIMBO, more, aka Water Ryu locked in, Cigar, Wind and Bison for TIMBO for his 3rd unit locked in. Sinip, still yet to decide on his 3rd and 4th unit, brings out that Verti Hill for the 3rd unit.
This is a really surprising draft from TIMBO, bringing out the Maul. This is not the kind of draft that we're used to, but I like to see it. It's a lot more aggression. He wants to take that first turn against Sinip and take out some of Sinip's units, and therefore Sinip has just decided to bring some units that help him sustain the team, like the Abellio. I do really like the Abellio pick, but the Cigar has the potential to reset the Abellio.
There we go, Sinip picking up that Abellio for the 4th unit. TIMBO has 8 seconds to decide his final 2 units.
Well, I think that Sinip doesn't have anything form of immunity at the moment, so if he brings some debuffers, that could be quite helpful for him.
TIMBO with the Alexandria as the 4th unit and Shiho as the 5th unit have been locked in on TIMBO's side. He has completed drafting his deck. Sinip, 1 more unit to go.
I do like the Alexandra pickup because Alexandra brings attack break and glancing on her skill 2, and that can be deadly against the Verd, and as well as the Dominic who struggles against the attack break. So I really like this Veramos kind of pseudo counter. Once again, we saw Velipity use him, and we're seeing Sinip use him against the Alexandra this time.
The rise of the Veramos today. Here we go, Veramos locked in as the final unit for Sinip's drafting. The bans will come in any moment now.
Indeed, I think the Masher would be a solid ban, or the Cigar to prevent the reset. Now, of course, we're seeing Dominic banned out because Dominic just brings so much damage.
Dominic gets banned out, Cigar gets banned out. Both players going with the speed lead. Sinip going with the 33% speed lead. TIMBO, 24% speed lead. Here we go, guys. Match number 4 of the quarterfinals. The final one for the quarterfinals. First turn goes for Moore.
Well, Verdhill did revenge, but I don't think he managed to crit. So it'll be interesting to see if Sinip decides to focus down this Manessa, or the Verdhill, or a different unit.
That's her doing some serious damage into the Abellio. Masha, defense break on that Veramos. Veramos surviving and getting an additional turn and dealing more damage with the Veramos. He'll take a turn. Attack bar increase for the team.
Well, it looks like you've been transported to some kind of alien world there. That was pretty cool. Anyway, time for Alexandra to move. She is going to go for the Moonlight Flash. It'll be interesting to see if Verd revenges.
There you go. Veramos with the skill 2 failing to stun any of the units. Ryu, skill 1 on the Verd, stuns the Verd.
We also saw that Veramos managed to cleanse so many debuffs. The power of Veramos against this Alexandra is truly mighty, but at the same time he doesn't counter the stuns, so this Shiho is able to stun the team and Veramos isn't able to do anything about those stuns.
Shiho with a huge stun, 3 units right there. Abilio, skill 1, skill 2, goes with the skill 1 for the stun, misses the stun. Ryu, skill 1, oh, another stun on that Vertihill.
I think that TIMBO will want to think about taking out the Vanessa, but the Vanessa is probably built very tankily, probably on minus fire as well, because these days the primary source of damage is Masher. Minus fire makes a lot of sense. So I think the thing is that TIMBO doesn't have any sustain and Sinip does, so it's all about how long Sinip survives while slowly chipping away at TIMBO.
Here we go, Rolling Spike coming out from that maul. We already got the stuns on Sinip's side. Alexandria taking out that Vanessa. Huge damage. Other side of the moon from Alexandria.
Incredible stuff, and now it's 4v3, and now it's 4v2. Things are looking really up for TIMBO. He has switched up his draft quite a lot from what we are used to, but it is working incredibly well for him. Shiho doing so much damage for TIMBO, and the Alexandra, despite the Veramos being on the field, also doing a good amount. He has really high rune quality on that Alexandra.
Abilio with an additional turn, giving a heal to that Veramos. Shihu, skill 2, lands the stun on the Veramos. Alexandria, skill 1 into Abilio, stuns him. Oh, attack break from the maul into the Abilio.
Indeed, incredible stuff. The Veramos, a unit that worked out very well for Velicity in the previous match, has not worked out quite so well for Sinip. And I think the difference is that TIMBO has a lot more raw damage than Catch was able to bring. He has both Shiho, he has also got the Masher, the single target damage that does quite well because Veramos's heal is AoE. So he's able to heal up his team a little bit, but if you just go really hard on a single unit, as is the meta, then the Veramos does a lot less.
Alexandra taking out that Abilio. TIMBO taking that first set, best of 3. TIMBO 1-0 over Sinip.
Yep, absolutely right. TIMBO taking the very first game there in our best of 3, and it just felt that Sinip just didn't have the damage like TIMBO did to counter it, Mouse, and therefore 1-0 down in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, absolutely, Adam. TIMBO really shocked myself, and I'm sure a lot of other players around, by not picking up his usual draft with the Molly. He still picked Alexandra, actually, but Alexandra seems to pair well with anything because she did so much work in both bringing the attack break and glancing to counter the rest of Sinip's team quite well, but at the same time, all that raw damage from the Shiho, from the Masher to take out that Vanessa, then the Vertihill. It was really, really nice to see TIMBO switching it up and it working incredibly well for him. Unlucky for Sinip.
Indeed, yeah, all those bench presses working out for him, killer. We knew it was going to be a thing. It definitely was a thing. Obviously, you know, this is two players we thought would be a bit more passive. Obviously, their first kind of time here in SWC. But it's good to see aggressive play coming from all of our competitors here today.
Yes, I've been really surprised with what the players have delivered today, and it's been really amazing.
Righty-ho, it is time for the next pick and ban. It is game 2 in this fourth quarterfinal here. Can TIMBO get a clean sweep and make his way straight into semi-finals against Velicity? It's over to pick and bans once more.
Here we go, Summoners. TIMBO versus Sinip. Pre-bans are in. Oliver and Juno get the pre-ban.
A very interesting pre-ban once again from Sinip, pre-banning the Juno. I wonder why he's pre-banned the Juno. It's suggesting that Sinip wants to pick up a unit that Juno is hard countered by, but I'm not sure. Maybe the Volantis is a unit that he wants to use this time round.
The Volantis, exactly, yes. TIMBO taking a few seconds to decide his response to that Marsha first pick from Sinip's side. He brings out the Molly and he brings out the Cigar. Wind and Bison locked in.
There we go. We finally get to see TIMBO's usual style with the Molly. And Cigar is a very interesting pick because, I mean, Sinip is only showing a Masher on the field and Cigar does not particularly counter the Masher. I feel like it's almost a pre-pick in case Sinip brings out something like that Volantis or something like the Anavel, which also Sinip likes to pick. That is countered by the Cigar.
Here you go, Sinip with the Volantis as the second unit and Jemaya as the third unit. First time seeing Jemaya in this EU prelims.
Oh my goodness, a Jemaya, that's something I never expected to see today. But actually Jemaya counters the Cigar pretty well because Jemaya can't be reset and he can reset the cooldowns of his team. I wonder if Sinip is going to follow that up with a Tableau.
Here we go, TIMBO picking up that Hagang as the 3rd unit and Rakan as the 4th unit. Sinip flashing the Tomoe as the 4th unit.
Wow, so many unusual picks right now, Killer. I mean, I'm loving seeing the Rakan. So many he's actually got 2 AoE provokers in the Sagar and the Rakan. The Hagang setting that up nicely and cleansing if the debuffs from the Volantis, but I'm not sure about Hagang in general. TIMBO is not representing hardly any damage right now.
Sinip picking up that Nasha as his final unit. TIMBO countering it with the Leo for his final unit. Benz?
Well, I think that Leo is probably going to get banned out for TIMBO. That does counter out a lot of penises. The Sinip's draft, the Masha and the Nasha are both countered by the Leo. I think TIMBO probably quite scared of the Nasha actually, but he also might ban the Masha.
Taking all the time available for the bans. Tomoe gets the ban on Sinip's side. TIMBO's Hagang gets banned. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Leader skills are in. Cigar with the defense lead and Jemaya with the speed lead. Second set is underway. TIMBO vs Sinip.
Very surprised bans actually. The Leo staying on the field. That's going to limit the damage of both Nasha and Masha. And Jemaya actually, so I think that TIMBO has almost kind of outwitted Sinip here in making Sinip ban the Hagang instead of the Leo.
That rage of Mother Nature coming from Volantis, doing some provoke and some glancing onto TIMBO's side. TIMBO's Cigar looking pretty healthy right now, provoking back Sinip's team. The Nasha, the Jemaya and Volantis are all provoked. Leo landing a dot on that Volantis.
Here we see the power of Sagar because even though the reset is countered by Jemaya, the provoke is something that Jemaya can do nothing about. And he actually brings a defense break to set up for the Rakan. So let's see if this Rakan manages to take out the Jemaya.
And we've got more provokes coming from that Rakan. Rakan provoking that Nasha. Here we go. Leo, skill 1, skill 2 into Jemaya. Jemaya halfway HP right now. The shield goes up onto the Cigar from the Molly.
That was a nice collapse from Rakan. The question is Sinip going to be able to take out this Leo quickly enough? Sinip is going to have to be careful not to put Leo in torrent range, because if Leo gets a turn under 30% health, he is going to ignore defense. But Leo has to be the unit that he focuses down to give his Beast Riders extra damage.
That was huge. Marshall failing to land that defense break into Leo early on, getting an additional turn, doing little damage. Cigar about to take a turn. Will he go for the provoke? Oh, provoking that Jemaya. Jemaya with the defense break. Rakan skill 1, taking out the Jemaya. That's huge. Masha, what are you going to do? Fast link, not available. Skill 1 into Leo. Leo looking, stunned from the Volantis.
Well, Leo is in torrent range now, so if he manages to get a turn, he's going to get an additional defense off. But Molly actually almost has some anti-synergy with Leo because she heals him back up. Nevertheless, things are looking really good for TIMBO right now. And all those Rakan revenge collapses are beautiful. This Rakan is really carrying his team quite hard at the moment.
This Rakan is in overtime right now. The Cigar is in overtime right now. The provoke on Sinip's side is overwhelming right now. Rakan, he's got that skill 2, immunity and attack buff is up. Nasha is dismounted. Volantis can't stand that Rakan with the immunity up.
Honestly, I was saying previously that TIMBO was not representing a huge amount of damage, but I really underestimated the damage of this Rakan because it's going nuts. He AoE provokes the team along with that single target provoke on his skill 3, and he's managed to pull off so many collapses on revenge, and it's just going over and over. And also, I really like that skin. Very cute.
You go, Rage of Mother Nature. Volantis not doing too much since he was provoked most of the match. Molly taking out that Masha. Rakan, collapse. Will he take out this Volantis? Goes for Volantis, does not take him out, but Volantis revenges. Collapse! Overtime. Oh my god.
Every single time, Killer. Every single time. What a unit.